It was the devil. The devil always started whispering to him when he was especially bored. "It would be easy," the devil was whispering, "to climb out through that window. No one would see you. And in a jiffy you would be in the garden, and in another jiffy you would be through the front gate, and in yet another jiffy you would be exploring the marvellous forest of sin all by yourself. It is a super place. Do not believe one word of what your mother says about wang-doodles and hornswogglers and snozwanglers and vermicious cnids and the terrible blood-suckling, tooth-pluckling, stone-chuckling spittler. There are no such things." "What is in there?" little Billy whispered. "Wild strawberries," the devil whispered back. "The whole floor of the forest is carpeted with wild strawberries, every one of them luscious and red and juicy ripe. Go and see for yourself." These were the words the devil whispered softly into little Billy's ear on that sunny summer afternoon. The next moment, little Billy had opened the window and was climbing out. In a jiffy, he had dropped silently onto the flower bed below. In another jiffy, he was out through the garden gate. And in yet another jiffy, he was standing on the very edge of the great big dark forest of sin. He had made it. He had got there. And now the forest was all his to explore. Was he nervous? What? Who said anything about being nervous? Hornswogglers? Vermicious cnids? What sort of rubbish was that? Little Billy hesitated. "I'm not nervous," he said. "I'm not in the least bit nervous. Not me." Very, very slowly, he walked forward into the great forest. Giant trees were soon surrounding him on all sides, and their branches made an almost solid roof high above his head, blotting out the sky. Here and there, little shafts of sunlight shone through gaps in the roof. There was not a sound anywhere. It was like being among the dead men in an enormous empty green cathedral. When he had ventured some distance into the forest, little Billy stopped and stood quite still, listening. He could hear nothing. Nothing at all. There was absolute silence. Or was there? Hold on just 1 second. What was that? Little Billy flicked his head round and stared into the everlasting gloom and doom of the forest. There it was again. There was no mistaking it this time. From far away there came a very faint whoozing, whiffling noise, like a small gusty wind blowing through the trees. Then it grew louder. Every second it was growing louder, and suddenly it was no longer a small wind. It was a fearsome, swooshing, whooshing, whiffling, snorting noise that sounded as though some gigantic creature was breathing heavily through its nose as it galloped towards him. Little Billy turned and ran. Little Billy ran faster than he had ever run in his life before, but the swooshing, whooshing, whiffling, snorting noise was coming after him. Worse still, it was getting louder. This meant that the thing, the maker of the noise, the galloping creature, was getting closer. It was catching him up. "Run, little Billy, run, run, run!" He dodged around massive trees. He skipped over roots and brambles. He bent low to flash under boughs and bushes. He had wings on his feet, he ran so fast. But still, the fearsome swooshing, whooshing, whiffling, snorting noise grew louder and louder as it came closer and closer. Little Billy glanced back quickly over his shoulder, and now, in the distance, he saw a sight that froze his blood and made icicles in his veins. What he saw were 2 mighty puffs of orange-red smoke billowing and rolling through the trees in his direction. These were followed by 2 more, whoosh, whoosh, and then 2 more, whoosh, whoosh, and they must surely be coming, little Billy told himself, from the 2 nose-holes of some galloping, panting beast that had smelled him out and was coming after him. His mother's words began thrumming once again in his head. "Beware, beware, the forest of sin. None come out, but many go in." It's the Spittler for